We have the Saints and Washington going up. What do you have to say about this?
I'm still repping
So who dat?
about half the league this year. But anyway, um,
Can I
this
say
game
can I
was
say
so
one
bad. This
small
game was
thing
so
before we get started? Before you go on your real
sure.
quick. Uh, so I always talk about fantasy football with one of my coworkers and everything, and he said, "Hey, I think I'm gonna play Kirk Cousins this week because they go against the Saints." And I told him, "Well, that seems like a really big gamble, but I mean, if you really want to, I mean, I guess." And he goes, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for it." Well, he took that gamble and he won.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
I did not expect Kirk Cousins to. Didn't he have a perfect passing rating or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I
He did. He did.
he gambled high and he won. I'll tell you. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
High risk,
Hope
high
he won that
reward.
game.
He did.
If he lost, okay,
Yeah,
that's
he
okay. If he
did.
lost, the other dude had a hell of a year. He's having a hell of a year because that would be a damn. But anyway,
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
right. This game was so bad that Rex, Rob Ryan got fired. I mean, it was collective, I know, but damn, yeah, this game was so bad that Rex Ryan got fired too,
Rex
just from
Ryan's out.
just from association, just for having the same last name. Oh man,
Oh my god. You're killing me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
you gonna make it?
I don't know.
I'm just letting you die on camera
Yeah, that's
here.
alright.
If
Continue.
you do, we're still posting this episode, and afterwards I'll put in memory. Um, no, but you giving up over 400 yards a game. The Titans game before that we didn't really hit that week because of the bullshit last week. It, I don't want to get into here, but um, you gave up all them points to the Giants. I mean, when you're averaging that bad of you know he even supposedly kind of expected it. So when you're kind of expecting to get fired, you know something's wrong.
Yeah.
That said, I don't think you can put all the blame on him. He's kind of the scapegoat. But it is what it is. When you're the defensive coordinator and your defense is giving up that many points and that many yards a game, I mean, what do? You get fired.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how it is. Um, I don't know if the issue is going to really be fixed. And what the hell was up with? Were you following that story as it came out Monday? Like
Yeah.
the
Uh,
story broke that morning. Rob Ryan's fired. Sean Payton gives a press conference. Rob Ryan's not fired.
it
Then right
was
before Monday Night Football, he's fired
it
again.
was
So
8:30 in the morning.
right,
Reports came out Rob Ryan was fired. And then
right.
you sent me a link to it and I was like, well, to be expected, you know. And then 11:30 uh Sean
Yeah, Sean
Payton
Payton
had
gave
his
a press conference right around then.
yeah, and what to the that radio station. We follow him on Twitter. I don't remember.
Yeah. It was on TV.
Oh, it
It was
was
on
it
TV
was
here.
on the radio station too that we follow on Twitter. That I'm sorry, I forgot their name. Um, and then he said something about like, oh, there's no coach changes, there's no personnel changes. So then it confused everybody. Like, oh, well, I guess Rob Ryan's not fired. And then it was like 6 hours later that then they announced that he was actually fired. It was just kind
You
of
know,
bizarre.
I think that the management decided to fire him, and they know that Sean Payton likes Rob Ryan, and so they just completely took the decision out of his hands and had him fired.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think happened, and maybe that leaked out before it was supposed to, because it seemed like I don't like. It seemed like it leaked out before it was supposed to, and Sean Payton was denying it because he didn't think it was true. Because he's like, "Oh, there's no way they would make this decision without my input," and I kind of think they did.
Oh,
That's my personal belief. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if any other evidence has come out contrary to that. If there has been, when this video comes up, please post it. I probably will have read it by then. But who
Post it
knows?
anyway.
Right, right. Maybe not. Um, yeah, though it was just a weird handling, and it honestly, if that is what happens, that's kind of an alarming sign for Sean Payton's future with the Saints. If all of a sudden they're firing coaches without his input, I mean, it's a pretty one of the worst kept secrets I think in the league that Sean Payton might not be with the Saints
He's
next
on the
season.
hot seat right now.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with all this behind the scenes stuff about who's going to own the Saints and a bunch of garbage I don't want to get into. There's a lawsuit. If you don't know, go ahead and read into it.
I
But
actually don't know.
it's has to do with Tom Benson and his kids and his wife, and it's a bunch of rich people arguing over rich people fucking problems. If you want the truth, but um, yeah, and Sean Payton basically has been a pretty loyal to Tom Benson. So if he ends up not being in control anymore, it's even more likely that Sean Payton would be gone. But a new era is coming to the Saints, maybe sooner than we want it to. I don't know. I don't really know if Payton would be the wisest move.
Who was it that
I,
said that there's two types of coaches in the NFL: coaches who are fired and coaches who are about to
I
be
think it
fired?
was. I don't remember. That was. It was an older. It was a famous coach, like an older famous coach, like maybe 70s, 80s, something like
It
that. But yeah,
that's like such a true
yeah.
statement because how many coaches? It's very rare do you see a coach like just retire as a coach with the team that they've been in. Like probably the only coach that will do it is Bill Belichick in this era. To be honest.
Right, and that's a big if. I mean, Tom Landry even got fired at the end. He was the coach for 20 years.
Yeah.
So, um, Bill Parcells was, one of the guys that Sean Payton kind of came up in that school of thought. And a little bit's been said on the radio about this, but his philosophy was always it's better to get out 1 year early while you're still worth a lot, and could land a more appealing job, I guess, coaching job,
Mm-hmm.
and get out 1 year too late after it's bottomed out, and you just have to take whatever job you can get.
Yeah.
So if that's the kind of philosophy that Sean Payton is also going to follow, he might cut and run before it all blows up.
It'd be the
and if
smarter
he and if he
decision.
does leave, it probably isn't going to blow up because there's a salary cap issue on the forefront with Breeze next year, and if the Saints actually, if management actually got rid of Breeze, there's going to be a hell of a lot of fallout with that from the fan base. With just, it's not going to be the most popular decision.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna see your own southern version of the whole Brett Favre debacle.
right, right. Except there's no Aaron Rodgers. So
True.
so it's going to be worse. But yeah, is the season over? No, the Saints are going into a bye week. It's 4-6. Realistically, okay, hypothetically, they could go on a run 10-6, maybe make a wild card. Realistically, is a 4-6 team going to all of a sudden win, 6 games? Probably not. So the season's not mathematically over, but it's probably over. So I hope they can get a run together. I think they have enough tools to win games, and they don't have the roughest schedule. But winning every single game seems like a stretch, and I don't think a 9-7 team is going to make the
A lot of
playoffs.
those are divisional too, and in that division
Right.
is Carolina.
Right.
I think you have to play them twice yet too.
Atlanta. No one's been talking about Atlanta because they've lost, 3 games. They have that undefeated streak, but they're still a decent team,
Yeah,
and that's not. And going to Atlanta, that's not really a guarantee. I mean, hell, even Tampa, Tampa beat us too. So
yeah. I let me
I
ask you
mean, if
this.
there was a time to win games, they just played the Titans and the Redskins back to back and fucking blew it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah,
we have the Texans coming out of the bye week, so that's a very winnable game. But at this point, it doesn't mean anything. I think the odds makers have said that Saints games are the hardest game to predict this season because you just don't know what the hell is going to happen.
yeah.
They
So,
went off in that Giants game, and then lay a fucking egg next week at the Titans
yeah.
with the Titans, and get even worse on the Redskins. So who knows?
Let me ask you this: What is? Do you think Rob Ryan is that bad of a defensive coordinator? Because I mean, he coached for Dallas, and they had a garbage defense. Got fired. He comes to the Saints. They have a garbage defense. He gets fired. Do you think that he's just
He has an
not a good
aggressive
coordinator?
blitzing style defense, and I quite frankly, well, I don't think he is, one of the A level defensive coordinators in the league. I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he had the talent to run the kind of defense that he wanted.
You know
The
who he
talent,
should play
I
for?
think, is
He should come to
great.
Green Bay. They have a great lineup for blitzing, and Dom Capers doesn't
That's
do
true.
it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I honestly don't know if he's going to be able to score a defensive coordinator job right off the bat, but a defensive assistant, that might not be a bad fit. So I don't know what his plans are. I wish him the best. He gave us a great 2013 after the down year with the bounty scandal and all that. I refuse to almost call it bounty gate. I'm trying not to do the lazy journalist thing.
oh god, fucking hate the Gates.
I know, I know. Watergate ruined everything in more ways than one. That's about all I have to say, though.
Alright.
Is that the second Nixon reference on the show? I think it
It
is.
is, yeah, in one season too. Damn.
Oh man, we got one more at least. We got one more in the tank.
Somewhere. We won't do it on purpose either, because I'll already forget it by next week.
Right.
So yeah, if you have any more comments about Rob Ryan and the Saints, you can leave us one on YouTube. And you can also leave us a comment on Twitter or on Facebook or like our shit, because we're cool like that. We have links in the description below. And we're back. Be prepared. Be, pre- be prepared, whatever the fuck you're doing with your hair right now.